Mickey Meehan for UCCS Athletics. I'm here with head women's basketball coach Lynn Plett. Now, coach, you were in action this weekend. You were at home for the final regular season home weekend. You hosted CSU Pueblo on Friday. You walked away with a 73-67 loss. The Thunderwolves came out in the half and really took that game away from you. Comments on that game?
We actually played fairly well for three quarters of the game, and then we had kind of struggled in the fourth quarter. In particular, they started really getting the ball inside, and we just didn't defend very well around the basket, and they scored some at the basket, but we still had a chance at the end. It's one of those situations where you don't want to be in that situation in a game like that, where you have to kind of come from behind after, just even though we were only down a couple of baskets. But we just didn't execute very well when we needed to down the stretch, and then gave up some points, especially on the block. Against their post players who were pretty aggressive against us.
It's a game that you look at, has seeding implications in, so big makes all these rest of these games pretty much big points for you guys down the road. On Saturday, you hosted New Mexico Highlands. You walked away with a 71-62 victory. Comments on that game?
The first half, we were unconscious. We made 10 three-point shots, just shot the ball extremely well, and had a good sizable lead at halftime. Came back in the second half and started the half fairly well. Then game didn't really get real close at the end, but they did make a little run at the end of the game against us when we started turning the ball over a little bit too. But it was nice to finish the home season, at least regular season at home, with our seniors having pretty good nights on that night. So it was for Jay and Emily and Kelly to finish with a win is always nice when you can finish your career, at least regular season career. Hopefully that's all it is, and we can still play one more game at home. But for them to be able to finish at home and on a positive note, it's really good.
You mentioned your seniors there. Comments on what they've meant to the program, the contributions they've made.
Well, Kelly's been here for 4 years and has pretty much played in every game and almost started, I think, in pretty much every game since she's been here. I just had her for the last 3 years, so she's been kind of a coach on the court for us, one of the ones who really tries to run the stuff that we ask the team to run, and so she's been important for us on the floor from that standpoint. Our kind of when things get a little rough or people put pressure on us a little bit, I think it's most of the players start to look to Kelly to kind of settle things down and take control. Emily has kind of fought through injuries her first couple of years, and still, even this year and last year, has some injuries that kind of hamper her. But she's really done a good job of improving in the last 2 seasons in particular, and it kind of moved her positions around a little bit. But I think she's really had some really good games for us and done a really good job for us. And Jay, even though she was just a 1-year contribution to our program, has done some really good things for us around the basket. Just her experience has been helpful and has fit in really very, very well with our kids.
Looking ahead, you're on the road. You're traveling to South Dakota as you take on South Dakota School of Mines and Black Hills State. Comments on what you're expecting ahead?
Well, it's kind of a crazy season from the standpoint of our conference. I think mathematically we figured out we could finish anywhere from as high as third or possibly not even get into the tournament in these last 3 ball games. So they're really important games for us. Our difficulty to some degree is that we're playing on the road all 3 games, but hopefully we can play as well as we did in previous weeks and continue to build on our teamwork offensively and defensively. I think if we take care of that part, if we defend well, both of these teams are below us as far as the rankings are right now, but that doesn't mean they're any worse than we are. They're going to be really challenges in South Dakota. Mines hasn't won a lot of games, but they still have a couple of really good players who can score, and they've just been kind of like we have been lately. They got hit earlier with injuries and didn't have as many players as they'd like to have eligible to play. And Black Hills was picked to win the conference, so they're capable of playing extremely well. So it's going to be a big, big weekend for us.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck as you push for the playoffs. The next 3 games are on the road. Hopefully we can get one more here at Gallogly on the Tuesday in a couple weeks. We wish you the best of luck on the road. Again, fans, thanks for tuning in, and go Mountain Lions.